MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell is being sued by Smartmatic in another defamation lawsuit for promoting his ridiculous MAGA Tears conspiracy theory, and according to $1.25 store Burt Reynolds, the election that was 100% stoled is now 100% proved.
Because now it's 100% proved. When everyone says there's no evidence, everybody, of anything election crimes, you on Facebook too, go to frankspeech.com. And you can actually look in the Supreme Court complaint. It's right in there, too.
His proof is just a Supreme Court complaint. It's not evidence. It's just the bad review he left on Yelp.
They broke the crime in federal crime. That's a federal law. And then you have a state crime. Let's just use Colorado for an example.
I will use this clip as an example of how slow Tom Selleck's slow cousin is. I check out the Smartmatic case, some wild new Lindell footage, more coverage of the MAGA Tears thunderstorm, including Donald Trump's ridiculous rally, plus the latest and stupid from Mitch McConnell, Matt Gaetz, Don Jr., Lauren Boebert, and more. Lauren Boebert, who is famous for trending for being stupid, was again trending for being stupid. In the mid-'80s, this was the monthly maximum ration allowed to be purchased by Polish families under their People's Republic. This is what Democrats want for America. Everywhere socialism has been tried, it leads to this. Naturally, I replied, no shocker you hate socialism, since it's the school you dropped out of, the police that often arrested you, the ankle monitor your hubs wore after his bowling alley meat show. Please, show your commitment to fighting socialism by only driving private roads to work from now on. Mike Lindell showed up to his broadcast looking like he just crawled out of a dumpster at P.F. Chang's, confirming that he uses the same hair dye as Rudy Giuliani. Look at on the right side of his head. It's still smeared there. How does no one tell him? This is the biggest broadcast place ever. Figure this stuff out, man. The guy Robert Mueller called Too Stupid to Collude tweeted, "The narrative is collapsing." Naturally, I replied, your septum is collapsing. Republicans in the Senate used the filibuster to block Democratic voting rights reform that aimed to overrule states' laws that restrict access to the polls, disproportionately affecting black voters. Mitch McConnell has been accused of racism after making this statement after the vote.
Well, the concern is misplaced because if you look at the statistics, African American voters are voting in just as high a percentage as Americans.
Americans are white and others are just lucky to be here. I don't understand the fuss. I also don't understand why everyone was cheering for Django. He should have been in those chains for a long time.
Mitch Please was trending, where over 300,000 tweets reminded Mitch that black people are Americans and they vote.
I don't understand why you people are so mad at me.
And, NBC stuff here in Minnesota, all this stuff came out, all these bot attacks. But back then, people were afraid to speak up going, what did Mike Lindell, what's this all new? Mike Lindell is, at one of them back there, Brandon, it was really, this one was really hurtful, said Mike Lindell, he made all his money dealing drugs. I never dealt a drug in my life. So this was back with the Star and Tribune, and they had to do a retraction back then, because I never dealt a drug in my life. In fact, I tried to rid the city of Minneapolis of drugs by doing them all. Okay, and then I didn't. And but they.
Can you imagine if that was a city's tactic for ridding it of narcotics? They airdrop in Mike Lindell, and he just does them all. You know it's a MAGA rally when people have dumb hats, no masks, and the urinals are plumb to the bar. Drink up, morons. Donald Trump has repeatedly said, I love the poorly educated, and it's clear here when someone has stickers all over their windshield, reducing your visibility to own the libs. Genuinely have blinders on. Look at this. I will not comply. But I'll make sure there's room for my toll bridge sticker. I think this is a good time to mention that I made these Let's Go Darwin mugs, and they've got my MAGA Tears logo on the other side. So order one up if you want to support the show.
Well, it is true today, everybody. Smartmatic sued MyPillow and Mike Lindell. I'm reading it right here, and doesn't say how much for, but it's a great day for America. That was my comment when these people, the Washington Post reached out, a couple other ones, and they said, "Mike, you've been sued by Smartmatic." I said, "It's a great day for America." Why? Because in Discovery, we have all the evidence, everybody. They get, if it can't go that far because this will drag out past 2022. But just a second.
I just love this because this is actually in the lawsuit. Crazy like a fox, Mike Lindell knows exactly what he's doing and it's dangerous, said Smartmatic. Smartmatic is suing Mike Lindell for defamation and deceptive trade practices, alleging he concocted lies about a rigged election to sell his products. The suit, which also names the MyPillow company as a defendant, seeks unspecified monetary damages. In addition, the suit demands that Lindell retract his statements that Smartmatic switched votes from Diaper Dawn to Joe Biden. Smartmatic's attorneys point out that Lindell has published content repeating his claims about their machines on 3 different websites, and in some of his media appearances, he accused Smartmatic of voter fraud and promoted his book or ran advertisements for MyPillow at the same time.
Sir, you want an education, call me up.
If you want an education, don't start with the guy that doesn't know the alphabet.
A, they probably don't live in the state anymore, obviously. Or B, they really did pass away. Or D,
flop-haired Floridian with a secret Venmo and a DUI, Matt Gaetz, took to Twitter, taking aim at the Capitol Hill Club's mask policy, tweeting, "Breaking, as a result of their compliance requiring vax papers for entry, I am canceling my membership at the Capitol Hill Club." I had to reply, "Come on, Matt, the Capitol Hill Club is adults only. You never really went because you couldn't bring your teen pay date there. Call Lauren Boebert. I bet her husband's up for being your wingman at Chuck E. Cheese."
They're empty. You had an excuse not to buy Christmas gifts. You say to your loved one, "Darling, I'm sorry, I love you very much, but I just can't. There's no merchandise in Tiffany. I wanted to buy the most beautiful ring, but they don't have any rings anymore. Nobody has anything." We never even heard the term supply change. You know, if you talk...
I never heard the term supply change until you just spoke, Donald Trump. And oh yes, the empty supply chain. Nothing relates to the working man, like your fake story about Tiffany's not having the ring for the woman who's never touched you on purpose.
The owner is an American Dream on steroids that came from addiction.
Oh, is it frozen?
Did we just lose Mike, guys? All right, we've just lost Mike. We're going to reconnect with Mike. We're going to take a quick break. Are you back, Mike?
Yep, I'm here, I guess.
Yep. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, and Logan's going to let us know when we're switching over. So where have we gone with the
Biggest broadcast place ever.
Back, Mike?
Yep, I'm here, I guess.
Yep. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, it's freezing again. Where have we been with our country where a company like MyPillow with 2,700 employees, blacks, white, Hispanic, Asian.
I heard him say white, so it's good to know he does employ some Americans.
Donald Trump rambled the same tired nonsense at the rally where QAnon believed that it was a Donald Trump body double. Yeah, QAnon is so crazy they don't even believe Trump is Trump. Using a body double is just ridiculous, as there's no person on Earth as lumpy and dumpy to pull this off. Yeah, we're looking for a tall, orange-skinned jerkwad that looks like a sack of mashed up hot dogs with nothing between his legs, the ferret pelt strapped to his head, and he's got to be able to talk nonsense, mangle words, and fake bone spurs. Find me that. And of course, there were conspiracies among the conspiracies because some of Q thought that it wasn't a double, it was actually JFK. Yes, JFK, whose long decomposed body would actually look healthier than Donald Trump. Paul Gosar was clearly hanging out with Mike Lindell and Don Jr. backstage. If you haven't seen this clip, you are in for a treat.
Now today is very apropos. Do you feel the storm building? It's America. She's tired. She's tired of having her parents told that they're not involved in their education. They're tired of not seeing justice, where we see our men in blue and our military.
Pinched-faced bikini car wash reject Lauren Boebert returned to Twitter, tweeting, "Pro-life A+ rating in my first year. I will always earn a pro-life A+ rating." Naturally, I replied, "The nutter in fake glasses that dropped out of high school thinks her imaginary grade is an achievement." Runt spawn number 3, Eric Trump, invoked the Fifth Amendment over 500 times when questioned by the New York Attorney General's office for its investigation into the company's finances. In recent years, Double Diaper Dawn has been very outspoken about those who choose to plead the Fifth. Pleading the Fifth makes you look guilty as hell. Pleading the Fifth, it's something the mob does. If you are innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment? If you're innocent, why would you take it? Taking the Fifth is something a lot of bad people do. I wouldn't trust anyone that takes the Fifth. If you take the Fifth, you're garbage, you're trash. You're also my son, Eric. What am I going to do? Everyone is taking the Fifth. It's been a year since Kim, Don, and Eric left the White House in MAGA tears. These is such lies, and you're just covering for the commie agenda the Dems are bringing in. MAGA tears. Too bad you lost your hair. Hair loss is caused by stupidity. MAGA tears. You are nothing but a far-left Dem woke fool. MAGA tears. Stupid show, LMAF. MAGA tears. Trump knows Jesus and he's bringing him home to the America. MAGA tears. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check me out on Spotify. I've played in 35 countries. I've done several theater and arena tours with Jim Jefferies. I have 3 albums there. You can stream them for free. That's a pretty sweet deal. Also, you can support the show by checking out my merchandise. You can grab an ABD, a Stoled, or a Channel mug. They go fantastic with those MAGA tears. If you want to have a friend roasted or congratulated, I do personal videos on Cameo. Thanks again for watching. Life's short. Have fun, be cool, be kind, take care.